Hello, everybody. I am live. I'll just see if I can take care of some tech. I hope everyone is really well. This Tuesday, I should turn my phone off. I think it's telling me that I'm going live. It has. And I'm going to actually start my timer because I want to be really, really punctual with these and not take up too much of your time. So I have allocated a half an hour to do these. So it's 4 o'clock. I am Paris time. I'm in the south of France. And I know it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast of the US. And I'm sure that some people will kind of pop on as we go along. But thank you for joining me in the first of the Uplevel Lab Masterclass series. I'm really excited to, I guess, formalize my teaching a little bit. I've been going live for a long time every week, and I always have, I guess, a theme and a topic that I'm going to. Hi, Gretchen. And I guess what this does is helps me, I guess, just structure it and formalize it. It helps me teach you guys in a way that I teach in my coaching and in my upcoming mastermind, and it just gives you a little bit of an idea of kind of how I operate and some of the things that I teach. So what I wanted to kick off with today is, I guess, I don't love this term, but it's your genius zone, you know, your expertise. And if there's one thing, and I'm good at many things, but if there's one thing that is my genius zone, it is sales. And it is the channel that I've come through since starting my career 20 years ago. And it's really where I guess I've honed my skills in advertising. I guess I honed them in advertising when I went into becoming an entrepreneur. I continued to use them. I've just seen in every single discipline that I've ever been in that I've continued to use sales. And what has, I guess, been more and more important of late is really making sure that the sales are coming authentically and that they're really coming from within. When I was selling $50,000 and $100,000 solutions to corporate clients, it was slightly different to the way that I have to sell now, which is much more purpose-driven. And so I am going to try to share my screen. Hopefully, oh, maybe I can't now. Oh no, I'm not sure if I can go actually back and share my screen. That's okay. What I will do is after this, I will send you the document, and I also have a download for you guys that I'll put into the comments that you can download afterwards, which is like a tip sheet. And really, I am going to be going over how to sell authentically and why it's so important. Really the kind of serving versus selling mindset that is good to kind of switch into. The top 5 tips that I think are super important, and they're kind of tips / mindset shifts that I think that you can, you know, and that's what's actually in the download that I'm going to give you guys. And I think it's something that's good to pin on your right in front of you so that every day you can kind of have a good look at it and make sure that everything that you're doing, because you are selling it at all times, and that everything you're doing kind of integrates that, and that it's just at top of mind. It's really important. And some old school tactics, some old school sales tactics that are not dodgy sales tactics, but are just things that are important to remember as we go along. And so there you go. I now know that if I need to share my screen, I need to do it before I start the live. So, and welcome to anybody else that's joining us as we go along. I did want to introduce myself before I kind of jump straight into the content. So I am Suzanne Actison. I am a strategic business coach and a life coach. And I come from an executive corporate career where I worked for 15 years in Australia predominantly. I'm Canadian. Lived in Australia for a long, long time, and now I'm living in France, where I guess I have created a couple, or my husband and I developed a couple of, you know, very decent incomes and businesses. So it gave us some really good flexibility and some choices. And then one of the big choices and dreams that we had was to move to France. And we moved my 3 boys and my husband. We all came here 2.5 years ago, and it's since then that I have been, I guess, consulting and coaching and really kind of moving my business forward in this direction. So when it comes to, where is my other page? So when it comes to authentic selling really is about selling from your heart and really selling your heart and soul. And so it's so deeply connected to your purpose. And there's lots of people that talk all about purpose and why, and there's a reason for that, is that if you can get really aligned and connected with your why and your purpose, it's sitting in front of me. Again, I'm a big person for writing things down and putting them and sticking them in front of me, because you can constantly go back to that every single day. Whether you're on the phone with somebody, whether you're tapping an email, you can kind of remember what it is that you're doing and why it's important for you to be showing up in your business. And when you have that alignment with your purpose and your why, the selling comes more easily. And so there is a video that I have that I'll put into the comments here that I did a few months ago around kind of, defining your purpose and your why. Hi, you guys. I've got Brittany and Stephanie also on the call. Thank you all for joining. You can always go back and watch my little fuffle around intro. I had a presentation, but apparently I have to share your screen before you come on live. And I forgot to do that, so I'm not sharing my screen, and you're going to see me the whole time. But I will share the presentation afterwards. And as I was saying, I guess regardless of what you're selling, if you have this really deep sense of purpose and why, it really helps you sell authentically. And like I said, pin it so somewhere you can see it. So I'm sitting at my desk and I've got light coming into my face, but I've got papers stuck in front of me, so I can continue to remind myself, so that when things get hard, when you're writing that email to people, when you're when you're having one of those tough days where you're just doubting everything that you're doing, you go back to that. And I encourage you to go watch the video that I'll link into the comments, because it's not just about, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, my why is my kids, is being happy. You have to dig a little bit deeper than just your kids and your happy and your fulfillment. It really has to come from within and be something more, not more personal, because there's nothing more personal than your kids, but be a really personal thing about you, about self. And when I think about people who just sell authentically, they're high energy. And the reason why that they're high energy and they're kind of contagious in what they're selling, you kind of want what they're drinking, what they're having, is that they're aligned with their purpose. They know single-handedly every morning and every time that they're showing up in their business, talking to clients, writing emails, on stage, whatever they might be doing, there is such a good alignment that the energy is natural, and that energy comes authentically as well. And there's another video I've done about authentic, when your purpose is aligned, when the energy comes really, really naturally. And so I'm going to go through the top 5 mindset and / authentic selling tips that I think are really, really important to hone in on. And now the number one thing is believing in what you're selling and believing in yourself. And so many of us as entrepreneurs on a daily, weekly, hourly basis doubt what we're doing because we feel that we're not 100% confident on what we're selling. And that starts up here. So it starts maybe when you start scrolling onto Instagram and you see somebody else kind of doing what you're doing, and you go, oh, she's doing it better than I am. And you start to doubt your program, you start to doubt your everything that you start doing, and you start funneling down that slippery slide. The stronger we are mentally and in our minds, the less likely we are to go down that slippery slide. And so when you are believing completely, and again, if you work on your purpose and your why, it ties directly into what you're doing every day, all of those activities that you're doing and how you're doing it. And you really must love what you're doing so much and really have a deep sense of purpose, so that you feel that if you don't go and sell your X, Y, and Z product or service, that you're really, it's like a disservice to the people that to your potential customers if you're not selling it. So I truly believe that my business and that my mastermind and my courses and my coaching can really move the dial in your business and can help you grow, can help you increase your income and your impact. And I really feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice if I don't try to sell to you, because I know that if we work together, that I could make a difference. And so that's my why is so deeply ingrained and so deep within me in my purpose that I find the selling easy, and I feel like it is a disservice if I'm not telling you guys about what I have to offer. And so that starts every single day from the emails that you use. I responded to a friend the other day. She said something about 2020 going to be a great year, and I said, yeah. I think my first message DM back was, yeah, it should be, and I went, nah. Yes, it's going to be. It's going to be an awesome year. And it's that positive, affirming language in everything that we're doing, in emails, in DMs, in blogs, in your lives like this, and it's changing that language so that you're tricking your mind into thinking, yes, I'm doing this. And that's the same thing around when Rachel Hollis is big on writing your journal and writing it in the what you do in the first person or as if it's already happened, because you're believing in yourself so strongly that there's no doubt about what you're doing. So number one, believing in yourself and having that confidence. Number two, don't make it feel like you're selling and sound like you're selling. Now, this one is where I believe, and I'll toot my own horn, I have excelled in selling from when I have always been selling. People always said, I don't really feel like I'm being sold to with you. It's because I'm selling. So if I am selling a program, I am talking about my program and the benefits and the features of it implicitly through my content, through my stories. I might post something about being in my own mastermind. So I have a mastermind that I'm a part of with a coach. And so if I'm talking about, and I have pillars that I have written down, and that I have content pillars that I know I need to talk about in order to sell my ultimate services. So my one-on-one coaching, and I need to talk up the fact that the benefits of one-on-one coaching. And there's no better way to do that than talk about it from a personal point of view and how it's impacted me and how my coaches have helped me over the years. So my group coaching, when I meet with my mastermind sisters, I take a screenshot of it. I post it because I'm selling. I'm telling my community and maybe you guys about what I'm doing and why it's a benefit to me and why it could be a benefit to them. What else do I do? I guess sharing my dream and sharing how we have moved countries has shown people that you can have a small dream and you can start with nothing and come to having a dream life, which is what I'm living right now. And I'm getting to choose the kind of career that I want. And sharing that and sharing the behind the scenes makes it authentic when it comes to the point of actual asking or and selling to you, to my community, because they feel like they've been along for the journey and they're like, oh yeah, of course, she's been talking about this mastermind for so long that it feels natural, and whether or not they take part is up to them, but it doesn't feel like it's cheesy, dodgy selling, it's authentic selling. And the importance in all of those bits, so whether it's on stories or posts in social media or in a blog or in your lives, the importance of storytelling in that I can't tell you enough about. There is a really good book, and I don't know if it's here in front of me, Stories That Stick. It is Kendra Hall. I highly recommend it. It's really, really good to start to infuse and put into all of your content, because it is just a beautiful way of being able to deliver your purpose story, your value story, your founder story, just any of your messages, and infuse them into your posts. In fact, I told a story today in my Instagram post, if you wanted to go over and check and see how I did that. If you are stuck, if you would like some help figuring out how you can weave selling through, it is a good book, isn't it, Gretchen? If you want some help in doing this, I'm absolutely happy doing this for you. Email me, DM me, comment here, make a comment now, and I am absolutely happy. You tell me what your business is, I can have a quick look, and I will send you some ideas on how you can actually infuse your selling into your every single day. I'm going to keep going. I'm talking fast because I've got more things to get through, and it's 16 minutes left. Number 3, sell your audience something that they need. So this goes back actually a couple of steps, and maybe should have been the first one, but it is really, really important to understand your customers' pain points, their issues, their problems, their any kind of challenges that they might be having, and in essence, what you're going to be doing is solving those problems. So you want to make sure that you're selling them something that they truly need. So there's 2 points to this. One is making sure that you've got your ideal client really correct and accurate, because if you're talking to people that are not your ideal client, then maybe you're trying to sell them something that they don't need. And the other bit is really understanding their issues and their challenges. And then that's when you put those things together, and then you work out the value that you're truly providing them and the problems that you're solving. And then you show them how they're going from A to B in solving those problems. And that is taking me into the next step, which is demonstrating the transformation instead of just selling on the features and benefits. So your program might have group coaching, and might have one-on-one, and might have Voxer support, and it might have blah, 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 blah. You might sell products that cleanse your face and do all these different things. I'm talking about programs and digital programs, but it can totally apply to products as well. And I know I have some multi-level marketing people within this group that sell products. So it could be doTERRA oils, it could be Rodan and Fields. It doesn't matter what it is. Focus less on the features and benefits and focus on the transformation. And this is where I have a friend who sells Rodan and Fields, and they do it beautifully. And I think that this is one of their complete strengths. They show their before and afters. That's the transformation, folks. That is the end result of what the person is going to get. I see that clear face on Instagram, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want that. I'm in my 40s and I'm starting to get, blemished skin, blah, blah, blah. And that's showing me the transformation. Everybody wants to know what the end result is going to be. And so get super specific about how it will change their business, how it will change their relationships, how it will change their day-to-day life, how your health coaching will help them, will not just help them, but where are they going to be? What are they going to be like? How are they going to feel at the end of it? Super important. That was number 4. And number 5 is remember people buy from people. So as we go along, talk to your community and talk to your customers like they're your friends. So don't try to be too, up in the sky with language that, that they might not understand if they're just starting out. You got to make it really, really relatable, because we got to remember the number 1 form of advertising is word of mouth. So if you think about that combination, you talk to your community like they're friends, they kind of feel like they're a friend of yours, they're an acquaintance, and you really start to get to know them. And they have the ability to use the word of mouth to spread their word on who you are and what you are. And so it makes it a really, really powerful combination when it comes time to spreading the word about you, but then also it's selling to them. They don't feel like they're being sold to, because they're kind of like buying from somebody that they know really, really well. I'm just going to go to the comments quickly. I'd love some feedback on my sales page, 3-tiered support system coded up. Oh, I don't know if it's cut off. Oh, wait, and coaching. No problem, Gretchen. I'm absolutely happy to look at your sales page and see where where I might be able to make some input. I'm absolutely happy doing that. So, yes. So, and the other thing is, I guess you don't want to sell to everyone. You really just want to sell to those right people who are in that friend network, in your community. And really do not feel bad about taking their money, because you are helping them get more freedom, get more wealth, get more health, get more whatever it might be. You are truly helping them and providing a service and value. So that is what you need to focus on versus selling them something. So those are the 5 tips. And like I said, I will provide them to you in the document afterwards. And the 1-page download also has those all on just 1 page. It's really good for printing and putting in front of you. Now, the last 3 things that I want to go through, and I've got 11 minutes, so I'm doing well, but I am firing through this, and I'm going to have a little quick drink of my tea. And if anybody has any questions, please pop them in, because there's a lot that I just went piling through, and everybody's business is absolutely different. So you can take, some of these things totally apply to all of them. So you'll have to take certain bits and pieces from others from this to apply to yours. And again, slightly different from products to services, but again, very similar, bases that we all kind of go off of. Now, the 3 old school tactics I want to take you guys through. Make it easy to buy. So the first one, make it easy to buy. So I come on this too often than not, you see someone's Instagram page, their Facebook page. You want to kind of find out more about them and how to actually purchase their program, buy their product, and you can't find where to do it. So to book a call, a buy button, do they have, the question I'm asking you is, do people have to search everywhere to buy from you? Again, happy to look at your pages, happy to look at your profiles. In particular, social media profiles is a big one, because sometimes people kind of don't put on the seller's eye when they're putting your profiles together. And the other key to this is making it easy to buy is you want them to buy in the places where they are. So if they send you a message in a comment, you want to make sure you're commenting back and that you're asking questions about, maybe not just saying, yeah, thanks for your comment, but sending a question back. It's starting a dialogue. And the same thing goes for direct messages. If I get messages, I had 9 messages in my stories this morning, I reply back. I have a dialogue. I go back and forth. Oh yeah, they might have just said, oh, cute, or whatever it might be. And I use that as an opportunity. They've opened themselves up to have a conversation. And so have a conversation back. So make it easy for them to buy from you, and don't just be, website, Facebook profile. Engage and make it easy for people. The second thing is, one second, is ask for the order. Again, this is where I excelled in my corporate career. We left a meeting once, and my boss said, I can't believe it, you just asked so bluntly if they wanted to work with us. And I'm like, well, I wanted to know. So what did he, and he said, yes, I would like to. And he told me when. It wasn't right now, but it was in 6 months or something like that. And I said, that's how that's how you can understand whether or not someone wants to work for you. You ask for the order. You have to generate their interest. Are you interested now in doing this? If not, then maybe when, and trying to set a date. Maybe this is, and they say, oh, I'm just starting out. Maybe this is something that I can do in 6 months. No problem. I'll contact you in 6 months, and make sure you have a follow-up diary, either in your physical diary or you set reminders in your email calendar, and you follow up with those people. And you might have people on different days, and you're sending a little, maybe it's kind of like not automated, but a sort of a copy and paste email, and you go in, you're saying, hey, how's it going? It's conversation, it's communication. People might not be willing to buy from you right now, but over the next year, 2 years, they might be. So the other thing that is really important in asking for the order is kind of before you ask for the order, in recapping what you do, is trying to preempt their objections. So if you go through your program, and I listened to a really good Amy Porterfield podcast a while ago, and she went through all sorts of objections that she might get and the mindset blocks that kind of go along with each one of those objections. And then and so I've taken this on, and so since last year, the content of my lives and of my even of these masterclasses revolves around the objections that I know people might have around cost, around length of program, amount not being worthy of doing the program, around any kind of objections. You preempt them before they come up, so they don't have those objections when it comes time to closing the deal. And do a live about it, do a blog post about it. Think about the objections and the mindset blocks that somebody might be having to place an order with you, and tackle those up front. And remember, set a date. If they say no now, then ask about later. And always, 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 in everything that you're doing, you need to ask for the order in a call to action. So the call to action is a question. This can be in a social media post. It can be, in everything that you do, you need a call to action, and that increases engagement, and it increases the probability that someone is going to buy from you. And the last thing is ask after you've asked for the order, close. So I had a lady the other day said, I asked somebody, she had a meeting, and then she said, and then I just didn't follow up because I was kind of scared or afraid. You have to follow up. That's the closing of the deal. You may have asked for the order in even just asking for a meeting or asking to be introduced to somebody. If you don't follow up, you're not closing the deal. You're not closing anything. You're just letting it stay open. And so many times, people will say, yes, I've been meaning to get back to you, or it wasn't good timing then, but now it is. You have to follow up. So you have to follow up on direct messages, on conversations you might have had in Messenger. You really should keep, I guess, a customer service database so that you have those conversations. You can say, oh, I spoke to that girl in that Facebook group, and I'm going to follow up with her in 4 weeks so that I can just go back to her and show her that I'm thinking about her and her business. And so, yes, don't send and forget. Don't send an email and then not get back to anybody. So I was doing a lot of promotion in November, and I sent off lots of emails to various podcasts that I wanted to be a guest on. And I have followed up on a lot of them, and 3 or 4 of them. So some people are just going to ignore you, and that's what it is. That's life. But the people that you can follow up with, they'll often say, sorry, it doesn't suit. Great. Cross them off. Or yes, I liked what you were talking about. It would be perfect in March. Then I put it in March and I follow up. It's tracking the sales along and closing the order. And again, that shows that commitment and that passion, that commitment shows passion. So when you follow up with somebody, they're like, whoa, she kind of is still here, and she's not just trying to make a quick sale. She actually thinks about my business and is helping me, and it just shows passion, and it really just it shows the enthusiasm, and again, it goes back to your purpose, and it just pulls everything together if you can have a really good follow-up process. So whether you meet them face-to-face at a networking event, whether you meet them in a DM, whether you meet them in an email, in a Facebook group, keep a list of contacts somewhere in Excel, on a paper form, wherever it might be, and follow up with those people. So maybe even try to do that over the next month and see how that actually works for you. So those are the last of the 3 old school tactics: close, ask for the order, and make it easy to buy. So those just good old sales tactics. And I will put the tip sheet into the comments. I am also, as I've talked about here, I have a mastermind that has just opened. It's called the Uplevel Lab, and it starts at the very beginning of February, and it is open now. And I have only 12 spots inside that mastermind, because it is my very first mastermind. And I am trying to keep it nice and small so that I can really be super hands-on with every woman and man, probably women, that is in that group. And I am taking discovery calls for that now. The other thing that obviously comes alongside of a brand new program like that is brand new program costing. So it has a value of around $10,000, and it's much, much, much less. It's $2,400 as an intro, which can be spread across 6 months. So that is the Uplevel Lab. It has really, really good roll up your sleeves kind of coaching with me. There's 3 sessions with me, both for strategic and roll up your sleeves, like brainstorming, troubleshooting, I guess in-depth strategic discussion around making a plan for your business and really following that plan and executing that plan for the year. There's group coaching. There are expert masterclasses. There's an 8-module course. There is Voxer support. Those are all of the features and the benefits, but truly the transformation that you will discover through going through a mastermind like this is so much growth in yourself and in your business, and really truly accelerating your business into a point where you are making the kind of impact and the income that you really want to make. And I have a proprietary multiple revenue stream framework that I will be teaching inside the mastermind as well. Like I said at the very, very beginning, multiple income streams has enabled me and my husband to make some serious choices in our lives. And I think it's key to, no matter what business you have, is in having those multiple income streams, and that's part of it as well. So that in a nutshell is the Uplevel Lab. If you are interested, I will put the discovery call link in my comments. And the next class, which is next Tuesday, is all around multiple revenue streams. So I'm going to be touching on why they're important, how you can get them up and running. Of course, not going into the kind of level of detail that we'll be going into in the Uplevel Lab Mastermind. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you with, I've got 43 seconds. Look at that. I'm sticking to the time. Is I have a really exciting scholarship that I am making available to one person, and I will put the link to the scholarship also in the comments, and that's for the Uplevel Lab. And then it's something that may or may not be relevant for you guys, whether or not you're in the US or in Australia, but I am going to be donating $400 of that $2,400 to the Australian bushfire appeal as well for the first 5 people that join. So that is going to be my contribution that I am making, and I just think it's really, really important. It's my way of being able to give back to a country that is under, oops, stop, cancel. Is giving back to a country that has given me and my family so much. So thank you all for joining me. I hope that that was valuable for you guys. I would love, if you are watching it as a replay, to just pop into the comments that you are watching the replay. If there's any questions, let me know, DM me. And if you would like me to look at any of your sales pages, your Instagram profiles, your Facebook profiles, to see whether or not they're sales worthy and then whether or not they're explicit enough when it comes to making a sale, then I'm more than happy to do that as well. So have a beautiful day, everybody, and I will see you later.